Welcome back to the Resumes Workshop, Module 3. We are going to be looking at the summary of qualifications, which is the most important section of your resume because it will show an employer how your qualifications fit what that employer is looking for. The agenda, we're going to take a look at KSAs, find out what they are, how they're important to writing accomplishment statements. Throughout the activity, you will watch a video or two and have some quizzes that pop up. And at the end, you will have an assignment where you will write some accomplishment statements based on the KSAs that you've identified for yourself. Have fun! So let's get your resume to work. In this module, you will create a summary of qualifications by writing accomplishment statements that highlight your KSAs, that catch the employer's attention in the first 10 to 15 seconds of reading your resume. And this usually results in you being called for an interview. And again, remember the job of the resume is to get you the interview. So we'll start with understanding KSAs. So writing accomplishment statements is as easy as KSA. And what are KSAs, you might ask? We did mention earlier, they are knowledge, skills, and abilities. You'll see a little icon. Hopefully this whole woman is holding up this video. So please click on that video and watch the video. And there are some pop-up quizzes in that, so you can answer those as you go along. When you finish that, watching that video and answering those quizzes, just click back over here and we'll move on to the next slide. Now, as you learned in the video that you watched and the quiz that you took, KSAs do stand for knowledge, skills, and in this slide it says attitudes, some most often called abilities. And the K stands for what you know, skills, what you can do, and A, why you're the right person. If there are a number of candidates with the same knowledge and skills, it's often the attributes or the abilities that are individual and unique to you that help an employer find the right fit. All those three things together really answer the competencies that an employer is looking for as they're in the hiring process. It's always a match, your competencies to the competencies that the employer is seeking in a new employee. So writing accomplishment statements. So if you're wondering how to do it, I've included this video, which I find is quite helpful in and very clear in helping someone understand how to write accomplishment statements. Please watch this video. You can watch it over and over again, and when you are finished watching the video, please come back and move on to slide 9. So let's review what you learned. Knowledge is what you know and learned. So I'm looking at the facts. Often we just put little facts on our resumes without really expanding on how well we know the subject or how deep our skills are or what makes us stand out as an employee. So if we look at all those certificates, the facts, first aid level 1, food save world host, and the computer programs listed there, those are facts and they're great certificates to have, and they don't tell an employer too much other than you have those certificates. We'd like to see that as an accomplishment statement. So let's take a look at that. If you put all those certificates together, you can write a lovely statement that says, I took initiative to attain all relevant certificates for the customer service industry while studying full-time and maintaining a part-time job. Now that's pretty strong. That's a lot more depth than just saying that you have those certificates. It adds value. It's customer service industry and you were studying full-time while maintaining a part-time job. That shows that you have a real commitment to your studies as well as the ability to organize, manage your time as well. And grade 12, that's great to have. And it's always wonderful to note that you have an 87% average and received a medal for attaining the highest mark in communication skills. Those are wonderful things for an employer to know about you. Let's move on to the skills section. So skills are what you can do. And the facts: I greeted customers, served orders, cleared tables, and handled cash. And that's wonderful. You probably did it really well. So let's show the employer how well you did it. Let's look at greeting customers. Greeted customers promptly in a friendly manner so they felt welcome. That's great. Let's look at handling cash, the last one. So if we look at handled cash as a fact, let's look at it as an accomplishment statement. I accurately processed cash, debit, and credit card payments, balancing every shift. Now that's got a lot more depth to it than just saying handled cash. So I hope these two statements, and read the ones in between, and the skills that you identify for yourself. Practice thinking how well you've done it, how many times you've done it, anything that will add value and show an employer how strong you are, how strong those skills are for you in particular. You'll have a chance to write some of these as we move further along. And right now, let's just move on to the abilities section, or the attitude. So this shows why you are the right person. Earlier I said, if there are a number of people with the same knowledge and skills, it's often this section, the attitude or abilities, that an employer, where an employer will make a decision on who is the right person of all those, those really competent people that the employer has probably already interviewed. What makes you stand out? So the facts are you're always on time and flexible and good with people. And again, many people can say that, but let's see how you can really stand out. So let's look at always on time. And the statement here says arrived on time or early for every shift, ready to start work immediately. That would probably make an employer pretty happy to read that. And good with people. Let's take a look at that one. It says received written and verbal recognition from customers for my excellent service and positive attitude. So receiving written and verbal recognition from customers is something that comes freely from them, and that is like having a little mini reference on your resume. Again, these things can really make you stand out amongst all the other people who've applied. And who wouldn't want to hire the person who's awarded Employee of the Month 3 times in 1 year? I would. Let's move on. So now we're looking at the assignment. This assignment for Module 3 is where you're going to take the knowledge, the skills, and the abilities that you identified earlier on in this module, take those, develop them into accomplishment statements. And I have attached a worksheet for you to practice writing on it. You can download it. It's a Word document. Print it off. I don't care if you print 100 copies. I'd be thrilled if you did. And you can practice writing those accomplishment statements for the summary of qualifications section in your resume. So this whole section is all about the summary of qualifications. So first, by understanding your particular knowledge that you bring, the skills that you have practiced and become accomplished at, and putting that together with your own personal attributes and abilities to create strong accomplishment statements that will help an employer see why you are a really strong candidate for the job. So the accomplishment statements create your summary of qualifications, and this section, you want to have it right near the top of your resume, because that employer, when they read that, they're going to have you right in the yes pile for interviewing, because they'll see a fit very, very quickly when they look at your resume with your summary of qualifications right up top. Okay, now as I said, open up that Word document, go at it, try and try and try again, have somebody review them, see how they sound to somebody else, and really enjoy writing those accomplishment statements that tell you, they even tell you how great you are, and what could be better than that. So again, remember that the job of the resume is to get you an interview. I really congratulate you on making it through Module 3, and I encourage you to take your the work that you've done in this module, take it to your case manager, have them review it for you. And if you don't have a case manager, just you're welcome to go to our self-serve center and get some feedback from one of the staff there. So now that you know how to write these strong accomplishment statements, your resume is really going to be working hard for you. The next module, looking forward to Module 4, you're going to move on in your resume and learn how to create the sections of the employment history, education and training, and how to create a wonderful list of references so your employer can call and hire you, and you'll be very happy, and so will I. Thank you.